Assalamu alaikum, friends. This is Nadir in Chicago, and you are watching my channel, Knowledge for Quality of Life. Friends, last time we spoke about what is vitamin D, why it is important, and how we can fix it. During that talk, we talked about that 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter is the range which 48 scientists worldwide are recommending as an optimum level. Today, I'm going to try to look into what is so rational about that number, why this number is so magical, or what is the logic behind that range. So first, I'm going to look into that. Second, I'm going to look into what are the basic differences between D3 and D2, because this is common questions which as a consumer I used to have that question, that what is D2 and what is D3. Then third, I used to question this a lot, and I've gone through various phases while I was trying to raise my D level and fix many things. So I was asking that, how to take it effectively, this vitamin, supplement. What time of the day I should take it? Should I take it empty stomach? Should I take it with food? How do I take it? And then we will look into some of the cofactors which we spoke last time, that how it helps in getting more D absorbed in our system. So let me share my screen with you. So this chart you're seeing as a result of a study from a scientist went to East Africa and studied various tribes. Now, these are nomadic tribes, and they live outside, they work outside, they live in the huts they call it bomas, and majority of the time they are exposed to sunlight outside, working in the field. And there are various tribes here listed here, and then at the top here, the vitamin D level, which they recorded in their blood serum in nanograms per milliliter. At the bottom, you see that the same vitamin D level, but the unit is nanomoles per liter. And here you see that 20 written mark, which is the minimum required by Institute of Medicine, IOM. And then you see here ES stands for Endocrine Society, around 30 mark. They used to say that 30 is the minimum, but they have moved since then. I checked recently that now they are recommending 40 to 60 as well. And Grassroots Health, as we spoke last time, that they are recommending the 48 leading experts between 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter, or 100 to 150 nanomoles per liter. So if you look at the bulk of the data here for various tribes, including male and female and pregnant female, are lying between this 40 to 60 range. And that's the natural range that nature has wired us for. So based on that fact, they have established that, because these folks are not taking any supplement. You remember that in East African population, they are building their vitamin D level through the nature, through the sunlight. So this is what the physiology is designed for. This is how our body is designed for, this level. And that's how they came up with this 40 to 60, so to speak, the rationale behind it. But here, one thing very critical stood out for me, that if you look at the same tribe, the female from the same tribe, we will discuss this a little bit more when I'll talk about the importance of vitamin D during the pregnancy. If you look at here, the same tribe, the female which are non-pregnant, which is a pink color, and the color with the yellow are the pregnant women. Pregnant women are drawing more vitamin D through the sunlight, because remember that they are pregnant and they have to feed the fetus as well. So whatever mom's status is going to be for the vitamin D, that's going to be a fetus status in a way that, you know, it can feed that fetus in building the blueprint of the child formation. So this is very critical. You know, it stood out for me that, you know, how nature has wired us, that, you know, if the same tribe, same female, one is pregnant and one is non-pregnant, pregnant females are drawing more because, you know, it's not one person, it's two person who's being fed with vitamin D. The next is, I want to bring out to my audience attention the difference between D3 and D2. D3 is animal source based, which they extract from the sheep's wool, and they emulsify it into the oil based, and then they sell into the form of a gel caps, which you see over the counter outside. D2 is a plant source. They extract from the mushrooms, and mushrooms are being outside, you know, in the sunlight. They store the sunlight, and so basically D3 is an animal source, and D2 is a plant source based. Half-life of D3 is much better than D2. It means that, you know, it's longer. It stays longer in the system. You know, half-life is something that, you know, if you have a certain value of something, and what is the time required to bring that value to half of its value? That's called half-life. So half-life of D3 is relatively better than D2, but sometimes, you know, if somebody is very severely deficient in vitamin D after the lab results, then doctor prescribes you D2 for 6 days or 7 days, or depending on what the recommendation is. Once you are over that thing, and then get tested where your level is, then you have to follow up with the maintenance dose. And I think maintenance dose, which is over the counter, and D3 is readily available over the counter. One thing I want to bring it out here very clearly, this is my observation, that, you know, a lot of supplements in the D3 form, they are oil based. I prefer oil gel caps, because it absorbs much more better, because it's you remember that D is a fat soluble vitamin, so you have to have some fat with it. And there are multiple oils available outside in the market in the gel cap. So if you look at the bottle and turn around and read the ingredients, if you see that seed oil, any kind of a seed oil like soybean oil or sunflower oil, I personally don't like those seed oils because it increases inflammation in the body. I don't use any seed oils in my diet. I personally prefer extra virgin olive oil or extra virgin coconut oil based gel cap. So I thought that, you know, I should bring it out to my audience attention. Another thing is that how to take vitamin D. Because I've been hearing and I've been doing the same thing that, you know, nobody told me. My doctor never explained me that when to take vitamin D. So I was randomly taking, you know, sometimes not with the full meal, sometimes without meal. So my level was everywhere, you know, in the last 8 years. And then I studied more and more, and then I realized that, you know, there is a protocol which you have to follow with vitamin D. And that protocol, they have done the study. They took the population and they divided into 3 groups. One group with no meal, they just pop the pill without any meal. The second group with some meal, and then third group with the largest meal of the day. Whatever the biggest meal they had, either breakfast, lunch, or dinner, doesn't matter. And they gave these supplements and they measured their response in their D. So with no meal or small meal, the responses were recorded from 20 nanograms per milliliter to somewhere in the 40 range. But with the largest meal of the day, the jump was quite a bit huge. And on an average, the paper says that, you know, a 57% jump with the largest meal of the day. So the point needs to be taken here is whatever the biggest meal of the day you have, whether it be a breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you take your vitamin D with it so that you get most out of it as far as absorption is concerned. I will include all these papers and articles, the sources where I'm getting from, in the description, so people who wants to read a little bit more, they can take it to the next level. Then let's look at the cofactor. The cofactor is, as we spoke last time, vitamin K2 is a good cofactor. It's a must cofactor, actually. You have to take vitamin K2 with D, because it directs the calcium in its proper places. Now, last time I also mentioned that, people who are on the blood thinners, they have to be careful with K2. So they need to talk to their primary care doctor before taking the K2, because it may work as an antagonist, because it may not jive very good with the blood thinner medication. So you need to consult with your doctor. The next, if you look at the K2 jump with the vitamin D, they had 3,000 about people, and they divided into 4 groups, one without any vitamin K2, one with 1 to 199 microgram a day, and then one group with 200 and above. So if you look at that, the blue line shows that people who took D with vitamin K2 has about 115% more vitamin D absorption in their blood serum level. So that's a very good sign to see that, how these cofactors work in synergy. They complement each other. And that's how nature has wired us, basically. We have to have enough nutrients in our system to work those vitamins which are working and making different pathways in our system. So this K2 is one of them. Now, the other one is magnesium. Magnesium, same study, that red line is vitamin D level between 40 to 60. Now, remember that these are the dosage, 0 through 5,000, at various 1,000 mark interval. So 40 to 60, this green shadow area is the optimum level which Grassroot is recommending. And people who took magnesium with their D, they had about 146% more vitamin D. So it's a good jump. And people who took magnesium and K2 combined with their vitamin D, they had about 244% more vitamin D in their blood serum. Vitamin B6, that's another vitamin which is available in iron form in various foods. 63% more vitamin D available. Then vitamin B12, 61% more vitamin D available. So B6 and B12, if you look at all these B complex, there are food available which some non-veg people may be able to consume, like organic chicken liver or grass-fed beef liver. No offense to vegetarians, but if you are vegetarian, then you have to consume in the supplement form, which you are well aware of it, because deficiency of these B vitamins can be a problem down the line. So these B complex gives you another boost in their vitamin D absorption, because these are all various nutrients. They work in synergy with each other. Then vitamin C intake. It gives you 94% jump in vitamin D available in the serum level. Then calcium is another, uptick, 14% more. Normally, I personally don't take all these vitamins in supplement form. No, I'm not saying by any means that we have to take all these in the supplement form along with our D. There are nutrients, there are vitamins available abundantly in various foods. We have to get from the food as a first source. If not available in the food form, then we should go for supplement form. And that supplement should be a natural choice rather than synthetic form. That's my preference. That's how I go by. And we will talk more about these vitamins in future vlogs, when we'll talk about the diet and all that. So Personally, I don't take, or I don't recommend anybody to take in the form of, supplement the calcium, because, calcium is something that it's abundantly available in various food. And you can get easily 1,000 to 1,200 milligram a day. So first choice, I'm saying that, we should consume in the food form, various balanced diet form, various food, so that we can get all these supplements. The point I was trying to make here that, these all vitamins and nutrients work in synergy with vitamin D in better absorption. So we have to be mindful of that. Then probiotic use. Some people are taking probiotic capsules. Various type of strains are present in those probiotics. But I personally prefer in the form of bacterial probiotics variety, like homemade natto, which is a Japanese dish which I make. Also, I use grass-fed milk homemade yogurt, which is another probiotic, and it gives another good jump, 72% more vitamin D available with probiotic use. So remember that. And besides these, next time, with what we will talk about, that how this vitamin in the range which we were talking about, 40 to 60 so far, because the optimum level is 40 to 60. So how we can prevent or how we can mitigate the risk in all these non-communicable diseases, which we spoke last time about, like various type of cancers and heart disease and neurological disorders and diabetes. What the recent research, the knowledge tells us that how we can mitigate the risk by maintaining a proper vitamin D level with these diseases. And we will talk into the next vlog. Last, I have a request to make to all of you, that please share this information with your loved ones, with your friends and families, and let them educate themselves, so that going forward, if they are very well educated, they can have a better conversation with their respective doctors when they go for their health checkup, and when they have an annual physical, when they have their blood work. This is the whole idea of doing this vlogs and my channel, that to educate people, to share the knowledge that what's out there. There is no other means, there is no other reason for me to give any other than that. So this is my basic premise, that I'm sharing this knowledge. I don't have any intent whatsoever to give any advice or any recommendation to anyone. See you next time. And let me stop share here. And hopefully next time I will bring this topic in front of you. And that will be very interesting to you, to see that, what the current research is telling us, that how we can mitigate the risk. There are many risks, and all we can do is try to minimize as much as possible to the best of our ability, and leave the rest to the nature. Let the nature work in its own ways, but we have to do our due diligence first. That's the most important thing. See you next time.